AskReddit by Kantar1. What is it that you invested thousands of hours and now is pointless? I know all the tricks to make a website look as good in Internet Explorer 6 as in Chrome, Safari or Opera. I feel your pain. I also know how to make emails look identical across a huge number of clients, which is actually more difficult, yet feels equally pointless. I got a BS in biochemistry, then drove a forklift for 14 years. Now I'm an electrician. Whoop whoop. Fellow biochem graduate. I earned $12 an hour in a lab after working in wastewater. I do budgets now. I should have never done that. There were other ways to get to medical school that I clearly couldn't pursue because I did so poorly in the undergraduate degree. Pouring one out for your pain. Eater. Wow. I don't know whether I'm happy not to be alone or incredibly sad knowing that there are so many of us. My best advice for anyone seeking an undergraduate degree in biology, chemistry, biochemistry, etc. is to know you will have to get an advanced degree to make anything in your field. If you love it and are passionate about the subjects, keep on keeping on because they really are fascinating. Cheers to all my fellow scientific dropouts. Moderated a subreddit. It took me 8 years to get my chemical engineering degree. I never worked a single day as a chemical engineer. I'm a data analyst now. Reminds me of the guy that told me he had paid over $100K for an undergrad chemistry degree, and that the only thing he used it for was his pool. This is the life of a geneticist. The field moves quickly with the technology and techniques, but they are all very complex and difficult to learn. More than once in my life, I have poured myself into a specialized skill to be the best in the building, only to have that skill be obsolete the next year. It never feels that bad, though, because the replacements are almost always faster, easier, and get you better results or else they don't really take off. It's the bittersweet nature of being in a field that's constantly innovating and improving. Minecraft. From 2011 to probably 2018 to 2019 it was like my go-to depression game. When my depression got bad, some days I'd play for 12 hours. Built a whole huge city with districts, multiple tall buildings, rail system, a mob zoo, etc. I kinda miss it sometimes. It may be pointless, but if it got you through the day then I consider it useful. I spent half my army career in various schools learning to repair nuclear missiles. Now I'm doing desktop support and teaching the new guys how to install printers remotely. If one of the new guys gets pissed off at a printer and launches it across the room, you can teach them how to fix it. I built a customer service team from the ground up to support a client's new product. Became the highest rated customer service group in the entire business. One day our phones went dead, called to test the line, was routed to a different customer service team. We'd been outsourced and they didn't have the heart to tell us in advance. Wow. Sorting and organizing my MP3 collection. Fuck. The pain is real. Had to make it easy to find in Winamp. Wow. I haven't talked to any of my old guildmates in years. I got server first kills and worked my ass off to be the top of my game, and it means next to nothing. I look back on the time I spent fondly and wouldn't trade the experience for anything. But it really does nothing for me. Glad to see this. I was coming out to say it. Although, I quit smoking cigarettes the day I started WoW and I'm currently sitting on 15 years sober as of 8/8 so it wasn't a waste for me, really. And lots of my guildmates are on my FB. And I do have some great memories. Edit. Quit date and day I started WoW. The 8th of August 2008. Asian parent piano lessons. Didn't make them happy. Didn't make myself happy, never got any good at it, gained no useful skills whatsoever for the several hundred hours per year for multiple years spent practicing. Asian orchestra kids rise up. I faked my way through every concert. At the end of the 90s, I decided to digitize my entire DVD collection into MP4s. I had more than 1,000 titles. I had a computer specially dedicated to this task. At the rate of 1 DVD every night I remembered to do it. I burned through 3 different disk drives. It took me 4 years to finish. Now, everything is streaming in HD or 4K on your phone. Anybody interested in a 720p interlaced copy of Octopussy? Didn't think so. Put that shit on a Plex server and stream all your shit for free. 720 ain't bad, especially on mobile devices. Reddit. My primary source of entertainment. I took 2 years of French instead of Spanish in high school. I live in Texas. I live in Massachusetts, and I still should have taken Spanish instead of French. But at least whenever I go up to Montreal I can order my food in my terrible French and show everyone I'm an American immediately. RuneScape, but it's been pointless since day one. My friend just 99'd every skill on Iron Man. Unbelievable waste of time. I studied graphic design at a time when the industry was just adopting Illustrator and Photoshop. The schools, however, weren't. I learned so much about paste up and how to use a copy machine to get the very most out of it, and calculating percentages for enlarging, reducing and inking with French curves and waxing a block of text to lead it by hand, and, oh god, so much pain in the ass hand-drawn, hand-cut elements that were immediately rendered useless as soon as I got my first job. Sometimes I miss it. Then I remember pasting up whole paragraphs of text and remember that I don't, actually. I have really good crafting skills though. When I was 20 I got a job at an up-and-coming tech company. 6 months later they went IPO in a big way, and I was worth $2 million on paper. 6 months later the market crashed and the stock tanked. Before I was legally allowed to touch the shares. I read a profile in Wired years ago about some 20-something kid who was a zillionaire on paper. He personally owned the URL business.com back when URLs were the hotness. He was offered $400 million for the URL and turned it down. Then tech crashed, his company burned and he was literally flipping burgers riding out the shareholder suits. I managed to accidentally wipe the drive that held all my work. I'm a semi-professional game dev. There was 10 years worth of meshes, materials and code. It's been 10 days. I've just been in a sort of state of shock, having tried and failed to recover the lost files. Everyone who reads this, go back up your data right now. https://www.seagate.com/blog/what-is-2-1-backup-strategy/close bracket. UMR Spindles. I'm so sorry to hear this. Edit. Thank you for the gold. Being a decent, hard-working employee for a large multinational corporation. Everyone is replaceable, even me. My boss, co-founder. I have a bachelor's degree in astronomy from one of the world's best universities. I now work as a software engineer. I have a master's in molecular biology and work as a pizza man. I spent over a decade learning how to draw, studying design techniques, etc. Tried to work as a professional designer and illustrator and it was terrible and made no money. Now I'm a software developer. Every once in a blue moon it's useful for making graphics, but really just pointless. I'm an engineer. We're not exactly known for our artistic inclinations lol. But we do use figures and sketches a lot to convey ideas. Most of us do fine with our chicken scratch diagrams during meetings, but I had one boss who was at a whole other level. He could draw clear, neat isometric views of things, upside down so that the person sitting across the table from him could see it. It didn't exactly make him elite, but it sure did help with communications his ideas. Every NBA 2K since 2K13. They got greedy, the extreme monetization and the my player aspect of the game is nuts. I worked in high tech for 40-ish years. Almost everything I learned became obsolete. It's a treadmill. At least you got a 40-year-long career out of it. The rest of us are like 5-10 with over $100K in student loans. Sanskrit lessons in school. Not once have I used that language since I gave my 10th exam. Do hip hop music, but in Sanskrit. Make it a thing bringing back Sanskrit. I studied and trained to be a professional opera singer for 12 years, ended up not being the right path for me after a diagnosis of bipolar disorder this year. In my early 30s and never imagined I'd be in this position. I am a professional fingerboarder. Some footage. https://www.youtube.com/watch?vocazpk8iswsm close bracket lol. Damn, that's some mad skills. My marriage. The leading cause of divorce is marriage. Marriage 32 years together. Knife in the bag. God damn. I hope you get your groove back and live more happily than you ever thought possible. My PhD. It's fucking worthless and I'm done with academia. Now I work in a corp mindlessly filling Excel spreadsheets for twice the money I was paid and I've never been happier in my entire life. Edit. I've got PhD in STEM. Still it's fucking worthless cause nobody is hiring out here and I don't have some crucial skills to move abroad and get a decent job. I'm sick of working overtime for free, Dean's stupid policies, false IFing results. I got a notification on LinkedIn that a financial corp is opening new branch in my city. I applied for junior data analyst, but honestly all I do is filling Excel spreadsheets, making bar charts and reporting anything unusual. This is my dream. I am hopelessly burned out on the master's degree that will not end and I have zero interest in pursuing the traditional academia path any farther. But I fucking love filling out spreadsheets. I was a Jehovah's Witness for 30 years, average of 15 hours a month knocking on doors, preaching Armageddon that never will come. Free for 23 years now. Good for you. My mom left that church at 18 and never looked back. Religious trauma is no fucking joke.